If you're working in a highly regulated field, like pharma or finance, trying to move quickly can feel, well, impossible. But what if you could fix those operational headaches without some massive disruptive overhaul? We're going to dig into a really practical, founder-led approach that does exactly that.
Let me ask you something. Does this feel familiar? You're trying to push things forward, but it seems like every single project is slipping. And compliance, the very thing that's supposed to keep you safe, now just feels like a giant bottleneck, right?
Yeah, it's this vicious cycle. We call it the regulated ops trap. Priorities are just churning constantly. Your calendar is exploding with meetings, and your managers are totally overloaded. And look, it's so easy to point the finger at compliance, but a lot of the time, the real problem is just the heavy, slow processes behind everything. But here's the good news. This is totally fixable. Okay, so the solution is not another huge top-down transformation project. No way. Instead, it's a founder-led approach. Think about it. It's driven by that same agile, get-it-done mindset that builds and scales successful companies from the ground up. It's practical, it's lightweight, and it is absolutely focused on outcomes.
And this is really the core of it, the big difference. Forget those big bang, disruptive projects. This is all about taking small steps, seeing what works, and then scaling that. It's not some rigid one-size-fits-all framework. It's about adapting to your specific context, with coaching built right in to make the habits stick. And, this is key, regulation is baked in from the start, not tacked on at the end.
So what's the secret sauce? It's all about flipping on what we call founder mode. This is a mindset, right? It's where you're constantly asking, how do we make this flow faster? How do we get rid of handoffs? Who owns this? It's about injecting that lean, scrappy, entrepreneurial spirit right into how your teams get work done.
All right, so I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but how do you actually do it without causing total chaos? Well, it's a proven path, one that's designed to create a big impact, but through small, totally manageable steps.
Here's how it breaks down. First, a super quick 2-week assessment just to find the biggest pain point. Then you run a pilot, just one team, one process, to test out a better way and get some baseline numbers. And here's the important part. You only scale what actually works. From there, you embed those new habits with coaching to make sure they last.
And this is the golden rule. It's simple. No step goes forward without proof, without evidence. We're not guessing here. You only scale what the data shows as an improvement. Every single step has to deliver a real, measurable win. It's all about results, plain and simple.
Okay, so let's talk about those results. What does this data-driven approach actually get you? Because these aren't just fuzzy theoretical ideas. We're talking about a real, measurable difference in how your teams perform. First up, a huge drop in lead time. I'm talking 20 to 40%. Think about that. That's how much faster you can get something from just an idea all the way to a finished product or service for your customer.
How about this one? Imagine getting a quarter of your time spent in meetings back. Just gone. That time gets replaced with actual focused work and clear communication that doesn't require everyone to be in the same room. And the real kicker? A 15 to 30% increase in throughput. This is so important because it means your teams aren't just moving faster, they're actually completing more valuable work. More stuff is getting done, period. But let's make this super concrete. Look at these real-world snapshots. For a pharma scale-up struggling with slow change requests, this meant lead times dropped by 37% with zero audit findings. Or for a regional bank with long customer onboarding times, they cut that time by nearly 30% and sliced their backlog in half. I mean, these are the wins that really matter. When you boil it all down, it comes back to this one core idea. We keep agility and compliance as friends, not enemies. The whole point isn't to find tricky ways around the rules. It's to build them into a faster, smarter process so that your speed and your governance actually support each other. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What is the single biggest process, the one bottleneck, you could start to streamline as soon as next week?